All right, let's get right into it. We're about to explore the very foundation of logic itself, a place where truth isn't something you just find, but something you actually have to build. It's a different way of seeing everything. Welcome to the Intuitionist's world. But let me start by asking you something super basic. Think about any statement, literally anything. Is it automatically, without question, either true or false? I bet your first reaction is, well, yeah, of course. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that's just one way of looking at things? That system we're all so used to, where everything is black or white, true or false, a 1 or a 0, that's called classical logic. And it's incredibly useful, but it's definitely not the only game in town. There is an entire universe of other logical systems out there. And here's where we see the big split. Classical logic, it assumes the world is just a set of facts waiting to be discovered. But non-classical logics, they open the door to a whole spectrum of other possibilities. They suggest there's more to reality than a simple true-false switch, which gives them what experts call greater expressive power. So, today, let's jump into one of these other universes. We're going to zero in on a really important non-classical system called intuitionistic logic. And the core idea here is a total game changer. It shifts the focus away from some abstract idea of truth and puts all the emphasis on concrete, tangible proof. And this is the absolute key. In our day-to-day classical world, we'd say a statement like, there's a lost pirate treasure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, is either true or false, right? Even if we can never, ever find out which. Well, for an intuitionist, that's just not good enough. For them, that statement isn't true until you provide a constructive proof, meaning you've got to go down there and actually show them the treasure. And I think this quote just sums it up perfectly. Truth stops being this passive thing that just is. Instead, it becomes an active process. You don't just stumble upon truth, you actually have to construct it, piece by piece, with proof. I mean, that is a really profound change in perspective. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this actually work in practice? How do you get that greater expressive power we talked about? How do you build a system that can handle more nuance than just a simple true or false? Well, the secret is in a fascinating category of systems called non-Phrygian logics. Now, that sounds super technical, I know, but the idea is actually pretty intuitive. Instead of just slapping a true or false label on a sentence, you attach other information to it, other layers of meaning. For intuitionistic logic, that other information is the proof itself. So let's trace that evolution. Step 1, classical logic, is a really simple pipeline. A sentence goes in, and either true or false comes out. That's it. But step 2, these other logics, they add a whole new dimension. Now, a sentence can carry not just its truth value, but also other meanings, like how to prove it. And that's step 3. The result is a much richer, more powerful system for describing the world. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, this is some really out there philosophical stuff. But intuitionistic logic isn't just an abstract thought experiment. It's a super active field of study with some really important applications, especially in fields like pure mathematics and computer science. Yeah, this is not some dusty old idea. Researchers today are using it to completely rethink the foundations of math through set theory, to explore what it even means for something to be provable, and they're even inventing new logical tools to expand its power even further. It's a living, breathing part of modern logic. So after this quick little tour through this different logical universe, let's circle all the way back to that huge question we started with. What is truth? Let's look at the intuitionist's final answer. Really, it all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. If you remember one thing today, make it this. For the intuitionist, truth is not a given. It's not some abstract fact floating out there in the universe. Truth has to be earned. It has to be built, demonstrated with a direct constructive proof. And that leaves us with one final, really mind-bending question to think about. In a world where truth has to be constructed, what do we do with statements that we can't prove or disprove? If you can't build a proof for something, can you really say it exists as a truth at all? That's the challenge that the intuitionist's world leaves us with.